Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Asmus 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review video. Now today we are taking a look at none other than the Lord of the Rings Crown series, Gandalf the Grey. First things first, I have to say a massive thank you to Asmus for sending me this production sample so that we can take a look on the channel. Now if you are looking to grab this guy, I'm pretty sure he's still available in limited quantities from both them and toyswonderland.com. All of the relevant links will be down in the description below. Now I haven't seen Lord of the Rings, and I know that offends some of you, but it just isn't for me. I am, however, a big fan of well-made figures, and this guy appears to be just that. The Crown series is akin to the DX line from Hot Toys. It's the ultimate, the next level, the step up, if you will. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to see him. I'll be reviewing this figure from a technical and an artistic perspective. What we are going to do now, though, is get the box laying flat in the light box and do the unboxing. Here, of course, we have the box art, and seeing as this is the first time I've ever encountered anything from Asmus's Crown series, I didn't really know what to expect, but I'm suitably impressed. The printing is really nice and high quality. You do have a bit of texture on the front of the box. This, by the way, is a sleeve that you can remove to reveal the inside box. And this is also suitably high quality, nice and sturdy thick cardstock, and we do have a magnetic front cover revealing a little bit of a read up of Gandalf, the head sculpt, which does come packaged separately, a certificate of authenticity in the form of a card, and then when you remove the top foam layer, the figure himself. Now don't worry, we will fully assemble the figure before we take a closer look. But if you do lift up this top tray here, which is no easy feat to do, you do have one tray down below. So what we are going to do now is get all of his accessories laid out in the light box and take a closer look and everything he comes with. Here we have all the parts and pieces. Now before we begin, I quickly want to touch on the instruction manual, because as you saw in the unboxing segment, this guy comes packaged without his noggin. So take a read of the manual, it will tell you how to assemble literally everything. It also goes into great detail on how to assemble the belts, and then up the back, the diorama display base. So when you open this guy up, sit back, relax, and check out the manual first. Now let's talk about the diorama display base. This thing is gorgeous. I love the footprint. It's not too big, it's not too small, and it oozes personality. All the way down to the stairs that kind of bleed off the edge of the base. You also have a Greek pillar style themed crotch grabber, which I for one have never seen before, and then some real flocked grass fibers. This is an amazing base. The realism, the paint applications, the sculpt, the texture, it's next level. We also have some foliage around the front, a metal Gandalf nameplate, and then an actual working gate that you can open and close. Now you can remove all of these parts and pieces if that's something you wanted to do, but I kind of like the way it looks fully assembled. You also have a letterbox that's fully working and opening, so if you wanted to pop something in there, yeah, you totally could. So a huge tick from me on the diorama display base front. Now you also get this cloak. It doesn't have any wires in it, but it does drape very nicely. You can of course pop this on the figure, and you will see that later on in the video. You have a string up the front that you can tie it together with, and also a bunch of weathering down the bottom. I really like the way that looks. He also comes with a sword. As you can see, it does come out of the sheath, and it is made of real metal. Do be careful, as it is rather pointy, so you don't want to prick yourself. You also have a gorgeous royal blue, both for the handle and for the sheath itself, or some people call it a scabbard. It's entirely up to you. Now you do also get two different versions of what the instruction manual calls the wizard's staff. This one has a little gem up the top and it's a little bit more stylized in its design. There is a marking that is sculpted into the top right here, and it does a convincing job of looking like wood. Versus this one, which is more straight up and down, it also has a marking and it's painted in the very same fashion. I'm pretty sure y'all will let me know down below what those staffs actually do. Now, he does come with his hat, as you would expect. It's magnetic, it literally just pops on the head sculpt. You'll see that later on as well. He comes with this book, which is very well sculpted and painted. There's a bit of metallic gold in the various sections, and yes, there is printing on all of the pages. They're distressed, they're weathered. I love the way this looks. Lastly, you do get 2 more pieces. The first of which is a pipe. It's relatively simple, it is made of plastic, and it's rather bendable, so you don't have to worry about breaking this, and you also get this satchel bag. There's a smaller little pouch that's tied to the string, and of course you can have him wearing this. Now you do get this little piece, which has the Asmus logo on it, and it's used to adjust the eyes, because yeah, this guy has proper moving eyes. Lastly, you get a full array of Gandalf hands. They are all uniquely sculpted for this particular figure. There's wrinkling, there's age, there's liver spots. They are painted and sculpted very, very well. So overall, yeah, I'm pretty impressed with the full array of accessories. What we are going to do now, though, is get Gandalf himself out here and take a closer look. Here we have him standing straight up and down in the light box, no crazy poses or accessories or anything like that. And to me at least, it feels like Asmus have leveled up. This guy is something else entirely. The sculpt, the paint applications, the hair rooting, yeah, it's all done to an impeccable standard. We will discuss that a lot more in just a second. As for the rest of him, the proportions look great. The body looks like it fits the outfit perfectly. It's not too big, it's not too small, nothing is oversized. It all looks the way it should. I have looked at a bunch of Gandalf reference images, and yeah, this ticks all of the boxes, at least for me. I can tell that the folks over at Asmus have a lot of love for Lord of the Rings, and specifically this character, because it's not as easy as just sitting around a boardroom and saying, ooh, let's just go out and make the best version of Gandalf that's ever been produced. It's a lot more difficult than that, and in my opinion, they've done an amazing job. What we are going to do now, though, is take him off the rotating turntable, punch in, and take a closer look at the details. Here we have him up close and personal. Now at the start of the video, I didn't really know what to expect. This is the first figure in the Asmus Crown series line, and it's my first ever Gandalf, so I had no idea if I was going to like this. But now that I've seen this head sculpt, oh my god, this is incredible. This might just be one of the best head sculpts I have ever seen. And I'm talking specifically, of course, about the rooted hair. Let's start off with the hair on the top of his head first. The hairline is incredibly crisp. It looks pretty much flawless. Usually companies will sculpt around the edge of the hair, so when they meld it together with the rooted hair, it blends seamlessly, but they didn't do that here. It's rooted hair all the way up to the tip. And you can see it's styled pretty much perfectly. Don't get me wrong, you will have to do a little bit of futzing to get it to look as good as possible, but out of the box, it already looked fantastic. The same thing can be said for the beard. It's a very soft and lightweight hair, so it sits down, it drapes perfectly, there aren't a ton of flyaways, and you also have some actual hair on his upper lip. That, coupled with the amazing head sculpt, the great paint applications, and the movable eyes, yeah, I'm sold. This is awesome. Now you do, of course, have his hat. It's magnetic and it literally just pops on his head. Mine sits a little bit too far forward for my liking and a little bit high. I would want it to sit probably about there. So I might have to do some futzing with mine to get it to look the way I want, but out of the box, yeah, this head sculpt is a win for me. Now coming down to the outfit, it's relatively simple at first glance. You do have multiple belts that are real fabric and you have to rope them around and thread them through each other to get it to look the way it's supposed to. Just follow the instructions and you'll be perfectly fine. And then there's weathering over the top of his entire outfit. Down below, of course, it's the filthiest. Then underneath, he has some very stylish flared pants with some detail around the edge, and they are filthy as well. He also has some real fabric boots with real laces, and even more weathering over the top and on the underside for the soles. That's pretty much the name of the game for this Crown Series release. Everything as real as it can be. Metal sword, real hair, weathering throughout, real fabric where it needs to be. They have absolutely nailed it, in my opinion. Now for a quick side-by-side comparison, here we have him standing next to the Hot Toys Last Stand Wolverine. Now I know this might seem like a bit of a weird comparison, but if you think about it, it does make a little bit of sense. This is an older Hot Toys figure, so it should give you an idea, if you do own him, as to how Gandalf will scale as part of your collection. He is just that little bit shorter. Asmus tends to use their own style of body, so that makes perfect sense to me. I think he's around the height he should be. Do let me know what you think though down in the comments below. Just going over articulation. Now bear in mind this is my personal copy of the figure, so I'm going to be a little bit more careful. I've also left off the hat so it doesn't go flying when we move pieces around. Now starting off with the head sculpt, there is a double ball peg, one at the base of the head and another at the base of the neck. Going forward to there, going back to there, swivel and then pivot side to side. The arms will go up on ratchets to there. They will of course go forward and back, also on soft ratchets. Butterfly joint at the shoulder, swivel at the bicep, a ratcheted double bend at the elbow, and a 1/6 scale wrist peg. As for the torso, it is padded out. However, you do have a little bit of crunch going forward and a touch going back. It's not a ton, just because of all the padding. You do have swivel and some pivot side to side. The legs will go forward to there, they will go out to there. You have a swivel at the upper thigh, a double bend at the knee that does go way past 90, and of course a ball joint down here for the ankle. Just wrapping up on the Crown Series Gandalf the Grey. Now I've told you all a couple of times throughout the course of the video how good I think this head sculpt truly is. But trust me, if you're on the fence and you're considering picking him up, now is the time. When he sells out, he'll be going for a pretty penny because he is that darn good. This is, to me at least, the best rooted hair head sculpt I have ever seen, at least mass-produced at scale by an official company. Yes, custom head sculpts are out there and they look fantastic, but I've never seen a head sculpt by an official company look this good. Specifically, of course, with rooted hair. They've nailed it. The hairline is crisp and clean. The hair that they've used is super high quality. There's a gradient to it. You can see the roots. You can see a little bit of coloration. It's not just a flat white or grey. There's depth to it. It looks incredibly realistic. And then the head sculpt itself with the moving eyes, the fantastic face paint, and then we get to the outfit, which is awesome in and of itself. It's weathered, it's distressed, there's dirt and grime, you have multiple layers, and then we get to the accessories and that fantastic diorama display base. This all comes together to make for a very compelling addition to your Lord of the Rings collection. If you don't have a centerpiece, I reckon this guy right here can be it. I love how it all comes together, and that base definitely is a showstopper. Now, I got mine courtesy of Asmus. I do have to say a massive thank you to them for sending me this production sample so I can review it for y'all. Let me know what you've thought of the figure down in the comments below. If you are looking to grab him, I'm pretty sure he's still available in limited quantities from Asmus Direct as well as toyswonderland.com. All of the requisite links are in the description. Also check out the link to 6 Scale Network, the Facebook group. Come along, chat figures, share photos of your collection, and of course, see what's coming up next on the channel. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.